I pretended to be my dad's wife this morning when I called and upped the internet speed. So for gabbers watching at home, I am in my ancestral estate. I'm at Saltburn, in case you couldn't tell by the asparagus on the wall and the dishes in the background.
What a great intro, Grace. Thank you so much. Welcome back, gabbers, to your favorite podcast, Girls Unscripted, Bachelor in Paradise Edition. My name is Carolyn.
My name is Grace.
And we are here to break down a whopping 5 hours of television that we thought was going to be 2 hours of television. But we are up for the task, and we have it, and we are ready to spill it to you today.
I'm also glad that we both happen to have Tuesday night free because all of a sudden it was like, psych, you have 2 more hours to watch, bitch.
I keep looking up if it's going to be like this forever. It's like that YouTube kid. Is this forever? But it says no. So I think it might just go back to 1 episode. Who knows? It has a mind of its own.
It was a lot to ask of us, honestly. You cannot tell me that Bachelor in Paradise is dying when people are out here watching 500 hours per week of Love Island.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was more than Love Island. Because
literally, yes.
Love Island, every day but hump day. I guess, did they do Saturdays and Sundays? They did. Okay, so it's a little less than a whole week. It does really load it up front. It's all in the beginning of your week, so you have the whole week to enjoy it at your leisure.
It's also, I mean, for me, it was a crash. Like, it loaded up and I'm crashed out. I met my quota. I can't watch any TV for the rest of the week.
Yeah, exactly. We are now like robotically full.
And because I'm here with my dad, he was like, hey, Grace, I've discovered a new political show I'd like for you to watch with me. I said, what is it, Dad? He said, it's called Scandal. No, Dad.
Gabbers, if you're not a follower of Gracie, she has a beautiful father that
He is my Golden Bachelor.
He
honestly.
is the Golden Bachelor. He should go on the show. But he has like this whole character and persona that he's like we've created for him, I think, called Big Daddy. So if you see a man with a tank top coming through, that's who that is. He gives great opinions.
Does he?
They're interesting. And you know what? I love a man who will, you won't get this reference because you don't watch Love Island, who will stand on all 10 toes and say what mean business. That was Amaya Papaya. She won Love Island.
Wow. He does stand on business. He's the consummate capitalist. He
Yes.
will address whatever's going on.
Yes.
But speaking of Golden Bachelors, we've got some Goldens to get to. Except we've got a couple of hours to get through before we get to the Goldens.
We have so many Goldens to get to. I loved every minute of them being there. I thought their addition was exactly what we needed. I've heard from friends that they're not liking this new Bachelor revamp. Have you been getting that on your camp?
No, it is mostly, there's a lot of just confusion and just like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But then when I point out that it's a facelift, people are like, oh, that makes sense.
For what? For people?
No, for a facelift for the show.
Oh!
When I point out that I got my facelift.
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, when I point out that it's like a branding facelift for the show, people are like, oh, that makes sense. Because also, I mean, I don't think it's necessary, to see. I can't wait to talk about Jeremy's meltdown over Susie. Also,
Oh my God.
absolutely going further down the conspiracy theory that he is actually in his 70s. But when they showed him, when they do that supercut that's like him talking while we see Susie somewhere else, we see the overlay.
Yeah.
We don't need, it's funny, but we don't need it.
I know. They do that with a lot of people, and I think that's stupid. I do think, and those are like, they would save a lot of time and trouble for themselves. Because that's like a scripted thing. I don't know. If I were on the production team, I'd be like, these are stupid. I'm not going to do it.
And I'm sure that's actually what they said in post. And the higher ups were like, do it anyway. But we're the higher ups are probably the age of Goldens. That's the problem. That is the problem with network television. It is run by Goldens. There should be term limits.
Speaking of Goldens versus not, Love Island versus not, you can totally feel the grasp for the Love Island feel with the chemistry challenge that we started this show with. If you didn't watch Gabbers, everyone is given an app listing all the contestants of the opposite sex.
They were probably given a PowerPoint to go through. They said they'd created an app. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Jesse
no.
Palmer did not create an app.
No, they definitely just were like, oh, look at it for 2 seconds, and then we'll say if you said right or left, okay? Girls swipe right and left, just like a dating app, and right means they want to kiss. the person of the opposite sex, left means they don't, and whoever matches will meet in a secret gazebo to kiss. The idea is...
Can you say that again? Will you just say the secret gazebo line again?
And whoever matches will meet in a secret gazebo to kiss. Now, the idea is no one will technically have to know if you met in the secret gazebo to kiss, but people know when people are missing, so it's hard to not know.
Also, it's Bachelor in Paradise. Everyone talks all the time. They're gonna know.
They're gonna know. They're like, who's missing? Oh,
who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know.
Exactly. Everyone's gonna know. I just wanted to outline this up top because we'll be referencing it as we go through our beautiful couples below. I also loved how Wells and Hannah Brown have clearly been implored by producers to beg the castmates to keep their options open and kiss around. Did you get that feeling?
I also want to say one thing that gets said on this show a lot is things move fast in Paradise. Spoiler alert, they don't move fast in Paradise, they move fast on television. They move fast because it's television.
Right.
Also, the rate at which contestants love to throw around, that's the game. I'm here to, it's part of the game. You have to go out with different people. First of all, it's not the traitors. Get a grip.
Yeah.
And the way that they foist the blame, they're outsourcing the responsibility. It's giving like, I want this marriage to be open. And by the way, they say, are you open? And what they mean is, are you open to exploring other options? But it sounds like, are you polyamorous? But anyway.
What they're saying is, will you please make out with other people? Here's a secret gazebo that no one will even have to know. No one will even have to know if you go in the gazebo. Please kiss each other.
That's part of the brilliance of the show, is that you need to be coupled up in order to get a rose to stay for another week. Mm-hmm. By the way, we should start with Brian and Zoe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because somebody was trying to get a rose, it turns out.
F-Boy Island, I called it.
You called it. Also, I realized it hit me like a bolt of lightning watching the show. Brian reminds me of every man, every boy I met in college. And Gabbers, for those of you who don't know, I went to college at the University of Miami. Playboy's #1 party school my freshman year. Every guy at the gym was just like Brian. And Brian clearly used Zoe to get a rose so he could stay. That's a good gameplay. But he's not willing to admit it. I have other things to say that we'll get into about their communication. But he already ignores her the day after the rose ceremony.
Yeah.
He barely talks to her. He did a bad night and day. Like, at least, what is it, breadcrumb? He could have breadcrumbed her.
At least be toxic in like a smart way.
He was toxic in a dumb way. Brian is dumb toxic.
He wouldn't even look at her at breakfast.
They were sitting next to each other and he wouldn't look at her.
And then on cue, do you hear a jet ski? Teresa, 29, pediatric behavior analyst from Birmingham, Michigan, not Birmingham, Alabama. Interesting. Grant season. She loves critters.
She loves critters and she loves talking about critters and she is committed to the bit. She's committed to it.
She's committed to the bit. Do you remember watching her on her season, and was she obsessed with like lizards then and bugs then?
She was, and again, I respect that she's committed to the bit. And also, I just want to say she's really hot. And usually, I always say my logline is I was never the prettiest girl in the room, so I learned to be the funniest. Usually if you're a critter-obsessed gal, you're not the hottest. She's close to being the hottest. And so the fact that she's hot and committed to the bit is interesting.
There's a book that we gave Emily, my niece, when she was like 2, and it had like all the things that people won't tell you that you need to know. And one of them is like, don't try to be the popular girl, be the mysterious girl. And Parisa's the mysterious girl.
She read that book.
She read that book.
She's only a few years older than your niece, Emily.
Yeah. Emily is at a ripe age of 7. So Zoe is pissed from the start. She does not like Parisa coming up. Did they have beef on their season or something?
They didn't have beef on their season. She's mad because Parisa's hot. And she's clearly feeling insecure because she knows Brian's about to pull a fast one. Except again, Brian is dumb toxic and so he's not capable of pulling a fast one.
Right.
But I just want to say that he goes on to go on a date with Parisa. We can get into that later. he does meet with Parisa in the kissing booth. But Zoe accuses the problem with Zoe is that she accuses Brian of poor communication and she calls his behavior disrespectful. And what I want to say is you can't really call you should call his behavior dumb toxic. But his behavior isn't disrespectful because they haven't agreed to anything. They have agreed to no standard of expectations of behavior. And so for her to call him disrespectful doesn't hold any water.
Grace, you know, my dad's a lawyer, and what's that clause that goes into every thing of you're assuming fair play? I think assuming fair play means you talk to her at breakfast. You got to still just look at her at breakfast. That's the bare minimum.
And she went on to call his behavior disrespectful. And again, his behavior would have been considered disrespectful if they had agreed to a standard of behavior and he had violated that agreement or that expectation. They never did that.
Yeah.
Again, that's why he's just dumb toxic. And he was, I will say, he was communicating with her, but he wasn't communicating directly. What he should have said is, yeah, I might have led you on a little bit because I wanted the rose. I'd like to explore other options.
As if a man would ever be that clear.
Hypothetically.
That's a wizard world if I've ever heard of one. Hypothetically.
So he hadn't talked to Zoe all morning. They met in the kissing booth.
It was a hot, steamy kiss, which was confusing because it was hot and steamy, but it's also not confusing because that, again, is F-Boy Island behavior.
Brian is the bumper sticker. He's the poster child for when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yes, exactly. Hello.
It's not hard, babe. It is crazy to me that Zoe came in. She was she was one of the hottest commodities when she came in.
Yeah.
But she hitched her wagon to Brian too early.
It's all about politics. It's all about you got to play the game, as they say. And then after Zoe, in comes Parisa into the secret gazebo. And man, does Brian feel something in his loins. His
dumb, toxic loins.
His dumb... In his dumb, toxic loins, they are activated, to say the least. And after that, he is set to go on a date with her when Parisa asks him for a date.
I also want to say the editors are trolling Brian openly, which I respect.
Why?
Because we saw more flashbacks of this dumb, toxic guy in this episode than we've ever seen before. Because normally someone will make a claim on the show and it won't be rehashed until the tell-all, until a reunion show, and they will roll the tape.
Yeah.
These editors were rolling the tape in real time. You know, they were over footage of Brian saying I'm just here to have fun. We see him telling Zoe you're the only one I'm here for as they make out on the beach.
Yes.
They were holding him accountable in real time, which I appreciate. And so he went on the date with Parisa. And so also, will you do the Love Island voice announcing Allie Joe?
Another bombshell enters the villa. Allie Joe, 30, boxing trainer from New Jersey, Jewish, Scorpio as a personality, Grant season. But damn dim eyes, girl. Damn dim eyes.
She made me consider, I was like, do I need to get eye coloration surgery? Is that even a real surgery? I don't know, but I would get it.
It is. I saw it on TikTok, but who knows? It's TikTok.
She has beautiful eyes. They're shocking.
Stunningly gorgeous.
She goes in the makeout. She goes in the kissing booth. She kisses a couple guys. And I also want to comment on the kissing booth that Alex with an E, completely manic with Dale once more.
Oh my God. It is truly as if, talk about a robot, someone just takes out the chip and is left to their own devices. Alex was so awkward in the kissing booth, period, even with her partner, quote, partner, Jonathan. I mean, oh my God, I wanted to cover my eyes.
I wrote Jonathan and Alex seem like a disaster, but I don't think they know it.
They don't. Yeah.
But an absolute disaster.
Well, I think Alex gets on to it later because she does, call things off.
In the kissing booth, excuse me.
Oh, the kissing booth, yeah. They're going to watch that back and be like, we need to burn this for our grandchildren.
She was fritzing out with Dale. She fritzed out with Jonathan. So we have the new entries, which are Parisa and Allie Joe. They both get a date card. Allie Joe is a Scorpio. That's her whole personality. And fitness is her whole personality. And I'm going to say, she has good form. I don't hate watching people have fitness be their whole personality on this show.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Riley. He was last season. He got engaged. They are now broken up. But I told my trainer Tommy Trainer, shout out. I told him what great push-up form Riley had on the show.
Wow.
Allie Jo shows up with her own mini bands. Like, she comes with her own equipment, and I respect it. I respect it.
I mean, if only I could be that girl. It's a life I can't even fathom. And Allie Jo comes and she beelines it straight to the number one target on this beach, which is other pretty-eyed Dale. Dale seemed, I don't know. What do you think about Dale?
Dale was agnostic about Allie Jo at the time. She did point out, she said, we have a lot in common. We love fitness. And she didn't say we love fitness. We have pretty eyes. She should have led with that, honestly. She said we have a lot in common. We have pretty eyes. Let's date. She just said we both like fitness and you going back and forth from Florida and New York. Okay.
That is a good one. But I do think Allie Jo, so Allie Jo winds up picking Jonathan to go on the date as well, which I only think is because she could feel Dale would say no. Is that bad? Is that bad?
And is that bad?
It's that bad. And so they go to this bar date in the middle of Costa Rica. I just wonder how much they're paying these extras.
I wrote, my note says, date card took them to a Costa Rican bar where they had to strap Kleenex boxes to themselves and twerk. And then there was an arm wrestling competition with an undefeated arm wrestling champion who has clearly never arm wrestled before.
This was one of those where they were like, okay, we have $500 that we can spend on this date. What can we do? We can buy some Kleenex, rent a venue, and give this guy $20 to arm wrestle. That's about it.
And I don't hate, so the challenge was strap an empty Kleenex box full of ping pong balls to your ass and dance until all the ping pong balls come out. Fine. Whimsical. Summer of whimsy.
Summer whimsy.
Sure. There's not a lot of objective there. Once they do the games, it's over. And for Allie Jo and Jonathan, things had kind of run their course, and that was clear. Not so for Parisa and Brian.
Oh, no. Their University of Miami vibes just permeated through their skin. And I felt like I was back in a dark dance floor in college. They were having a good time.
That I could smell that atmosphere. It's not pleasant. It's not great.
It's not pleasant. I could smell his breath, too.
Correct.
Like, not
Correct.
pleasant, not great. But, man, they were hitting it off. I mean,
They were hitting it off.
Parisa wants someone to stay young with, not grow old with. And it's as if Brian has never heard words in his life when he's like, that is what I want.
Because he's dumb and toxic, he's never read a book. And so he thinks Parisa's a genius. By the way, I'm sure, I don't know what this is like because I'm not that hot, but I'm sure that Parisa is used to surprising people with her intellect.
Right.
She's so hot. We as a society tend to write off hotter girls as not being as smart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But she loves critters, so she's got to be smart.
I'm part of that because I'm really smart, but I'm not hot. And so I'm contributing to the standard. But
I think you're beautiful.
Thank you so much, sister. He has never read a book in his life. And so they get back from the Costa Rican party bar where Wells was. Sweet, sweet baby Wells. Summer of whimsy. Wells Adams shows up everywhere. He's just there.
They got to use him. They brought him down.
I would like to write a thesis. I could write a high school term paper over using Wells as a narrative device. Throughout the season, he just keeps cropping up. They just keep planting him places, and we don't question it.
We don't. He does carry the plot along just as much as we need him to, which isn't a lot.
It's not a lot. So they go back to the resort, the air-conditioned resort, and Brian and Parisa continue making out in the pool. And again, this is where Zoe veers into calling his behavior disrespectful. Again, I don't think disrespectful is the proper term. I think it's dumb and toxic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't said to her, I owe you fidelity. I owe you, they haven't agreed.
No, but what he does say to her is, well, she says to him, hey, is it like if someone else comes in, you're looking to veer? And he says, no.
Which he said to get the rose. And all he needed to do was say the next day, I might have spoken too much.
No, he said that as Parisa walked up with a date card.
Oh.
She that morning she was like, are we like, what, are you just looking to just let me know? And he was like, no. Boom, Parisa comes up with a date card. Boom.
I'm sorry. I feel like I just got caught, speaking of writing a high school term paper, I feel like I just got caught in English class having not read the book.
Yeah.
I missed that. I thought that was at the rose ceremony. He's so dumb and toxic.
I think it was both, Grace. I think he said it a few times. So I think we're all right in this world.
Okay, so I will give Zoe a little more slack.
Yeah.
That his behavior, disrespectful on a basic level, it's disrespectful to make out in front of someone.
Right. Well, and I think he was intimidated the hell out of Zoe. So I think he was kind of going to say what he didn't have the balls to say to her what actually was happening. Is that
correct?
Like, I see Parisa coming with a date card and I'd much rather go with her.
Yeah. He and Zoe, I mean, he and Parisa are making out in the pool. And then we get the return of an old classic named Jill.
Whoa. Another bombshell enters the villa. Jill Chin, 29, architectural historian from Rhode Island, Clayton season, quit week 3 on last season of Bachelor in Paradise, and there's slim pickings for her. Sorry, continue.
She was with this guy, Jacob, on Bachelor in Paradise the last time. And they kind of seemed to rekindle at the tell-all, but they didn't. I'm so sorry, sister. The pest control guy is here, so the doorbell might interrupt us anytime.
Oh,
like I said,
good.
In my childhood estate, there's a lot more critters in the South. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Talk about critters.
You know. One thing that I love about Jill is she's funny as fuck. She told, who was she talking to? It was somebody from a previous season. It was somebody she already knew. And she said, tell me what the layout is. And he was like, what are you looking for? And she said, I love this so much, I want to get it printed on a t-shirt. She said, I am looking for someone to regale me.
Love it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what regale means.
She wants someone to entertain her.
Oh, that's fun.
A court jester would regale you. I regale you.
Oh, Kyle regales me all the time.
Yes. Memorable Kyle is a regaler. And she said, I'm looking for someone to regale me, which I deeply relate to, sis, because she's tired of carrying society on her back, and she wants someone who's fun. She's tired of being the funniest person in the room.
Yeah, she's tired of it. And she also realizes she's one of the only single people in the room as she frantically looks for someone to go on a date with because she's given a date card. And sweet Jonathan, who is in kind of a rocky situation with Alex. That morning, she's saying, I don't know if I really like him. Jonathan was like, look, Jill, you deserve a great night here, even if it's your last night. I'll go with you on the date. Just keep that in mind.
Jonathan is giving young Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
He is going to blossom into a daddy.
Yeah.
Also, I believed him when he was earnestly like, I'll go on this date. We can stay open. I'm kind of seeing Alex. It might be crashing and she might be fritzing out.
Yeah.
Someone's taken her robot key out.
Right.
We haven't wound her up. So they went up to the C-suite. They went up to, I only think in terms of capitalism.
Right.
They went up to the hotel suite
VIP
that overlooks.
suite.
They kissed on the lips. I have to say, sister, if you and I kissed, it might be hotter than their kiss.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say.
Also, Gabbers, I should give some exposition here. I call Carolyn sister because we are, in fact, literal sister wives. We share the same husband. Also, I've been known to call you Jay, which I would like to give exposition on. That is because your Christian name is Jason Street. From Odessa, Texas, from a show known as
Friday Night Lights. I call Grace Tim Riggins. So if you hear me say Riggs or she says Street, that's happened. Why was it like my bachelorette email? It was like, who is Jason? Because I was Jason.
we had a property manager. Our sweet property manager, Annie, one time was like, who's Jason Street? I was like, it's Carolyn.
Because she changed my name on my email or something. So, it was hilarious.
So Jill and Jonathan shared a kiss, and it was not hot.
It was not hot.
But Jonathan is earnestly trying to be her friend, and she's earnestly accepting it. And this is actually what I think would be interesting is if at the end of the show, the premise was, would you be willing, because it seems like the question we're going to be left with is, would you be willing to give up love for $500,000? I wonder, would you be willing to give up love? Would you be able to give up love for friendship? Because I can guarantee you, Jill and Jonathan are going to stay friends way longer than any of these other relationships are going to last.
You think they got into that weird ass argument by the end?
Okay, well,
like,
based on them,
based on where we are, based on the C-suite. Well, yeah, and he seems like a nice guy, and actually funny. What do you say? The hoagie line made me LOL. It was like you have to say something about bread. What was it?
It was asked of him to deliver a pun, and he delivered something so on the nose at the drop of a hat that it was kind of shocking.
But he goes, but that's crazy. It's like, do you want my hoagie today? But that's crazy.
Jonathan right now has my vote for best all around.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I like Jonathan too. As does Jill. So the night of the rose ceremony, Jill goes up to Jonathan and kind of shoots her shot. And she's like, hey, I know we were just friends, but Twister was fun. I'd take your rose, basically is what she was saying. And he said, because we'll come back to this in a really weird voice, you make my decision harder, period. That's what he says.
And then he tried to break the fourth wall and told the problem is, I'll tell you, this is a rookie move. He told the cameraman, don't use that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you who's not in charge of editing at all, a cameraman.
Yeah, the cameraman. That's not where that decision gets made.
So at the rose, oh, by the way, another note I have that I want to touch on is Jill, smartest woman in the room. I am a Jill stan. I feel like I'd be friends with her. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to be the funniest one in the room.
She's so funny.
She knows that Dale was in a TV movie.
She did know that. She's done her research.
She saw Dale and she was like, oh, the guy that was in a TV movie. Respect.
Yes, total respect.
So we get to the rose ceremony, the sweaty, sweaty rose ceremony. I love how sweaty everyone. You can't, it's not dewy. You're drenched here.
It's not moist. It's moist and then a lot.
The roses go like we think they're going to go.
So to back up for the rose ceremony, Brian picks Parisa over Zoe, and Zoe thus ends her time on Bachelor in Paradise. Jonathan gives his rose to Alex, which you would think ends Jill's time in Bachelor in Paradise, which leads us to the next shit show we're going to talk about, which is the Justin, Lexi, and Susie. What the fuck was this?
Before the rose ceremony, Susie from Clayton's season shows up. You want to give us Susie's ASL?
Susie, 31, nurse practitioner from Virginia. Smarty, although I think she's just an influencer now because that was also in parentheses.
She shows up in a prom dress and everyone else is in a tank top. I personally would have changed. I would have been like, okay, let me go put on my swimsuit. But she's committed to the prom dress.
No, I have a theory, Grace. This has producers written all the fuck over it. They said, yo, Lexi, we know you're feeling weird about Justin still because you're thinking that he's not over Susie. Why don't you guys go talk about that very thing right over there? Hey, can someone get Susie? I know it's raining, but this would be the perfect opportunity for her to enter right now. Give her an umbrella and bring her on in.
That is exactly what happened. You're correct. But I'm just saying, if I were Susie and because she's been secluded in a hotel room up until now, I would have been like, cool. Oh, you guys are in your swimsuits. Let me go change.
Yeah.
They have both claimed that they're over it. They're over their relationship. They're over their breakup. And then they just sit down at this weird cafe table and start weeping.
Let's say it together. They were not over it. They are weeping within minutes of talking to each other. Why? I don't know.
I did a little bit of research on why they broke up because we haven't heard a word from them about why they broke up.
Right.
Apparently they did a podcast circuit last year and Justin also did one recently. He hasn't done our podcast. Justin, anytime, you're welcome. They broke up because they're different. He's very type A and she's not. And from what I could glean, it sounds like she doesn't make her bed in the morning and he does. It sounded like it was very quotidian, like day-to-day stuff. She says she loses things a lot and that would annoy him. What?
That's it? I was expecting there to be like some family, just, I don't know. They say how much they're obsessed with each other. They're crying within 2 minutes of seeing each other. I was like, why did they break up? Clearly there wasn't infidelity.
I think it's because someone leaves their clothes on the bathroom floor.
Well, no wonder there's still lingering feelings here. That shit can be fixed. Like, that's not a big deal. Someone can pick them up, or like we can move through that. They're very smart. She was a nurse practitioner.
So right before Susie shows up, Lexi has told Justin, again, this has producers written all over it, because Lexi's basically like, I can just sense that you might not be over your ex.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
She walks in.
Yep.
And then Justin and Susie talk, they cry. Susie talks to Lexi and says, you have nothing to worry about, girl. I am over Justin, as she's crying.
Yeah. As tears are streaming down her face, she says, girl, there is nothing between us. And for whatever reason, Lexi's like, oh, thank God.
For whatever reason, Lexi believes her.
Dubious Lexi this entire time, who's suspicious of like breakfast cereal, is now like, oh, well, now that you told me that, that's great. I can't wait to pursue Justin now.
Oh, no, it's not. We're not even to the rose ceremony yet, because the next day Susie takes Jeremy out on the date.
Yes.
Jeremy pulled Susie aside. By the way, again, conducting himself like a 70-year-old man, Jeremy stands on all 10 toes on business and says, I'm interested in you. I think you're great.
Yeah.
And it wasn't weird. And then she asked Jeremy out on the date. And Jeremy went to Bailey and said, hey, is it okay if I go on a date with Susie? I do want to uphold Jeremy and Bailey as incredible communication.
What?
Yes, the first time.
Okay, the first time, yes. The first time, yes, because of course the girl was mature about it. But yes, continue.
So the way that went down, especially compared to Brian and Zoe, was great.
Yeah.
He just said, hey, I'm going to go on a date with her. And she was like, okay, let me know what you think.
Great. Love that.
Great.
It's literally day 4 of paradise. We're fine.
I do like that they keep telling us what day of paradise it is, so we know how unhinged this all is.
Right?
We see day 3 of paradise, and we see a conversation Spencer's having where he's like, yeah, I think I could grow old with Jess, man. Yeah.
No wonder they pulled in a kissing gazebo. Like, this is out of control.
So Susie goes on the date with Jeremy, and they go jet skiing, and they have a great time. And Bailey thinks that it's okay the whole time.
Bailey is convinced that this is the best thing that's happened to them, because he's just going to come back and be like, man, baby, I missed you. Meanwhile, he was not missing Bailey.
He was not missing Bailey.
He was infatuated with Susie, which I will say, and again, just as Bailey is out of Jeremy's league, no offense, Susie is entirely out of Jeremy's league. Like, what?
Every woman in their 20s and 30s is going to be out of your league when you're 70.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
Grace, we're going to get canceled.
By the way, you're looking at someone who has been, I used to, when I was in college in Miami, and the bouncer would ask me how old I was to see if my ID was real, which it always was.
Right.
He'd be like, how old are you? And I'd be like, and he'd be like, you paused too long. And I'd be like, I'm pausing. I said this to a bouncer in South Beach. I said, I'm pausing because the first words out of my mouth are going to be 42. I think I would marry Jeremy tomorrow, because he's standing on all 10 toes. He's an old soul, and he has an old face.
Yeah.
So do I.
Well,
so do I, except I have a couple more injections on him.
I was going to say, your face is a little more frozen than Jeremy's, my friend.
I truly love Jeremy. I think he's great. He seems so much more mature than everyone else.
You think so? Oh, I did not like how he moved with this.
No, I'm sorry. Up until this point in the episode.
Okay.
Sorry. But I will say what he does later proves again that he's 70 years old. We'll get to it. But so he goes on the date. We're at the day of the rose ceremony. Allie Jo pulls Dale aside. They have an absolutely incredible conversation that should be studied in a lab, because they did not make eye contact one time. And she says, she's like, we have a lot in common: fitness, Florida, friends.
You've dated a Scorpio. You got one right here. Scorpio season.
And again, she should have just said, we both have pretty eyes.
Yeah. And right before the rose ceremony, Dale, I mean, he has called Allie Jo intriguing multiple times, which just means her eyes are very intriguing. I think he even said, I get lost in her eyes. But before the rose ceremony, he shuts her down and is like, and it's going to Kat.
Which, by the way, appreciate direct communication.
Pop off, Dale. Get Kat.
Yep.
Great. He still got a great kiss in the kissing gazebo with Allie Jo. So, he got his cake and ate it too.
At the cocktail party before the rose ceremony, I have a note here that says, at the cocktail party, Justin and Susie once again cannot stop crying.
Right before the rose ceremony, Justin and Susie are freaking out, and Justin admits that they have this blood lifelong pact that they will protect each other.
They will always take care of each other
at all ghosts. And Lexi, now realizing that, she's in the clear, goes up to Justin and is like, yo, you know what? I'm better now. I think we're cool.
I'm better now.
And it'd be so sick if you could give me your rose. And understandably so, Justin is like, well, that's convenient timing. So he isn't completely sold. But then again, I also kind of believed her.
No, and they kissed.
Yes, and they did. They smooched.
I'm going to be honest, I'm curious what would have happened if Justin and Susie would have kissed. We did never see them kiss. And honestly, actually, I don't even need to be curious about it. What would have happened is they both would have cried.
They'd be having trouble like locking lips because of their quivering from the sobs and the tears just rolling into their mouths. A just sobbing kiss. So when it comes to the rose ceremony, it's time for Justin to choose. Who does he give it to?
Also, I want to go back to a second. The morning after the first rose ceremony, the guys are now sitting around. And I think Jeremy was one that said this, but some of the guys started to say, they were like, yeah, it feels good to have the power this week. I just want to say, anyone who says have the power this week, that's an automatic red flag for me. Why do you like lording power over people?
Wrong reasons. They're for the wrong reasons.
They're for the wrong reasons. This week at the rose ceremony, men are giving out the roses.
They have the power.
First up, Spencer and Jess, sure.
Spencer and Jess, sure. We're not going to talk about them for the rest of the episode, shall we not? Because there's literally no reason to.
All I want to say is the next day, Spencer was wearing, in fact, a second bath mat.
Oh.
I'm obsessed with his line of bath mat shirts. It's incredible. I'm curious why he drinks out of a Stanley cup instead of the instead of the white water bottle that everyone else has. He drinks out of a Stanley. Also, he's wearing an Oura ring.
Oh, wow. Wow, you had a lot to say about Spencer. I'm sorry.
Is that data being transferred to his iPhone? I want to know.
Oh, interesting.
Where is his iPhone? Because it's probably off. I want to know about Spencer's Oura ring being charged. Okay. I want to know if he was like, guys, I got to have my own Stanley.
Yeah.
I have bath mat shirts. Now we're done talking about Spencer and Jess.
Now they don't exist to us. Back to the rose ceremony. I mean, obviously, again, Dale gives his rose to Kat. And Allie Joe, as a wrap for Allie Joe on Bachelor in Paradise, unfortunately. Dale is moving at a Claire Crawley speed with Kat.
Correct.
Like
he didn't even want to try things out with Allie Joe.
No, he was like, I'll kiss her in the gazebo, and that's about all we're gonna do. Which I have a feeling Kat may have given him glances. Kat's a scary woman. I'd be intimidated by Kat as well. Like, yeah. She does wield her power well.
Correct.
So backing up to power, rose ceremony, and Justin, it's time for him to give out his rose. And instead of giving it to the girl that's now assured him, you know what, you're over your ex, and we can move forward, he gives it to his ex. Mic drop. He gives the rose to his ex, Susie, because of this blood pact that they will always protect each other.
Because also, by the way, Jeremy has given his rose to Bailey.
Yes. Jeremy has given his rose to Bailey, which I can only assume is because Justin... Okay, sorry, so many names. I can only assume it's because Jeremy knew that Justin was going to give his rose to Susie. That's the only way, because Jeremy had so much fucking fun with Susie that I don't know why he would pick Bailey.
Well, so Bailey at the cocktail party did say, like, I'm all in on you.
Yeah,
which is part of why he got mad later. But so at the cocktail party, she said, I'm all in on you. But I do wonder if Jeremy maybe caught wind that Justin was going to give Susie the rose.
Yeah.
Justin offers Susie the rose. And she says, I can't accept this. Click, 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 click. Runs away. That is ill-advised. I was speechless. I was stunned.
That she didn't take it, or that he did it, or all of it?
Both. I was stunned that he offered it to her, but I was really stunned that she didn't take it. Because, again, based on how much she'd been, not sobbing, but based on how much she'd been crying, like, she's clearly not over him either. Babe, it's the final rose tonight.
Yeah.
Take the rose and stay the week.
Yeah. No,
hello.
What Jill said when Jill was finally given Susie's rose, a rose is like revenge. It's great anytime you can get it.
Anytime you can get it.
Susie, take the rose. Just stay there, girlfriend.
Susie runs off. And then Justin runs off and cries again. I don't have a problem with Justin crying. That's fine. I think it's healthy. It's I'm not dragging Justin for crying. I'm just saying that statistically, we don't see this many tears from a man on television.
Statistically, we don't see this many tears from an ex-couple on television that apparently don't have feelings for each other.
Yeah, I don't think we see this many tears statistically from anyone on television.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So including, what was Claire Danes' character in Homeland? She cried a lot. She didn't cry this much. Justin Glaze is crying more than Claire Danes did on Homeland. He goes to the room and is talking to Jesse from the hotel room, and he's like, Susie turned me down, man. I gotta go. And props to him for saying, I'm gonna go. Susie's in another hotel room because they've rented out the whole resort, by the way. They just have endless hotel rooms to run into. And so Susie's like, can I talk to Justin? And they're like, no, dude, sorry, he left. And Jesse, once again, acting like he and Justin have come up with the whole thing themselves. No, the producers did. The producers
they
said,
wanted Jill to stay.
There's one rose left. Let's give it to Jill. Jesse comes up and he's like, Jill, Justin wanted you to have this rose. And she says, no. At first she said no. And then she thought about it for 0.2 seconds and saw the possibility of her Instagram followers going up. And so she said yes.
She said, well, wait, yes. In fact, I will stay. So we never get the developing relationship storyline. I feel like had Susie stayed, we could have had a really interesting story between her and Justin. I think they would have gotten back together.
And Jeremy. But by the way, like the whole point of this in this late stage capitalist hellscape would have been for them to get back together on TV and get more followers and make more money. Hello. This is not hard. It's not hard.
Yeah, I was confused by it all. And I know Justin also probably felt, fuck, I fucked this up. She didn't take the rose. I can't go back now. Everyone's going to be like, what the fuck, dude? So he's like, well, he basically blew up his own chances at Paradise, which, I mean, it was a ballsy move. I love ballsy moves. I wish she had just taken the damn rose, but she felt weird. She'd already talked to Lexi. They were holding hands. Like it was awkward.
So then at the end of that rose ceremony, Zoe left, by the way. When she left, she said another thing that I think is brilliant, which is men like Brian will always take the easiest way.
Nice.
That's not
wrong. She's not wrong.
And then Jesse Palmer tells us some old friends are about to show up. Which, like, is that the best pun they could come up with? Because what that tells me is, like, this is like Sneaky Links or like X on the Beach. Like, some of your exes are about to show up. No, what he meant is some retirees are about to hit the beach.
Totally. And before we get to the Goldens, let's wrap out the youngins.
Correct.
And there's one more relationship kind of triangle. We have a new bombshell entering the villa. His name is Andrew, 30, Chicago and Vienna. It says a football coach, but is that like the European football or American football?
Yes, he did. He played sports overseas.
But was it soccer? Was it soccer or football?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. He said, overseas, whatever. He's on Katie Thurston's season and BIP season 8. And he has a liken to Bailey and Alex, and he asks Bailey out on a date.
I also want to say, again, not coming from a place of shame, this is coming from a place of me being impressed. Andrew has a lot of teeth, and he has a very wide mouth. I just want to add that to his ASL. I think you could fit 3 of my top teeth into his mouth. That was really
I've never
graphic.
Thought about it like that.
I've had 16 teeth pulled out of my mouth, including baby teeth. Yeah, I said what I said.
I was like 16, like adult teeth?
I have a categorically small mouth. The dentist always says,
Mine too.
The dentist always tells me, if anyone ever says you have a big mouth, tell him to talk to me, because you don't.
Yeah, no, the root canals are awful for me.
So Andrew he seems to have all of his teeth that he was born, like including baby teeth. Like his teeth just keep going.
So Andrew, 30, from Chicago, has great teeth.
Correct.
Is that better?
And has all of his teeth.
Andrew, 30, from Chicago, has great and all of his teeth.
Correct. Thank you.
So Bailey goes to Jeremy to kind of get permission, even though she's already said yes, to go on a date. And Jeremy is like, hello, you just told me you were all in on me. That's why I picked Susie. I mean, that's why I picked you over Susie.
This is where Jeremy starts to unravel.
Unhinged, unglued, he melts to the floor.
And I thought, based on how smoothly it went when he went on the date with Susie, but you're right, it's because he was telling a woman, of course, she was the more reasonable one. I thought that it was going to be super smooth. and she was going to say, hey, I'm going on a date with Andrew. And he'd say, okay. That is not what happened.
No. He is like, well, that's why you said whatever. And so Bailey goes on the date. Jeremy proceeds to go straight to a producer and demand that Susie come back because it's not fair. He picked Bailey because he thought that she would only be into him.
Let me tell you something, Jay. This is another reason that we know that Jeremy's actually a golden. Because a young man would have been like, I think I want to see Susie.
This is boomer.
What Jeremy does is he says, give me the phone and call Susie right now. He demands to talk to Susie right then, which, like, respect. That is one of the ways that producers hold people hostage is no one knows how TV work. Dad, you can be you don't have to open the fridge so slowly. My dad's in the background trying to be quiet. Shut out. Producers hold people hostage because they don't know how TV works, and so they don't know what they can and can't do. Jeremy doesn't care about the rules. He's like, get Susie on the phone right now, which I respect. He's standing on business. He calls Susie and she's like, babe, I'm about to get on a plane.
She couldn't give two fucks. She's like, I think I'm out.
By the way, she's probably getting on the plane with Justin because they're dumb and not toxic. Right. They probably just left the show together.
Yeah.
They didn't realize the business opportunity they had. So she's like, sorry. And so then Jeremy's kind of double mad because Bailey's left and he doesn't have a chance with Susie.
Meanwhile, Bailey is having a different meaning of a coffee date with Andrew as they sit in a bath of it. This is a common reality TV activity for whatever reason. We just watched 90 Day Fiancé where they just bathed in beer. So I don't know. You know, also, you're grasping at straws when you're like, let's just put them in a bath of something.
Which I have to say, it was interesting that it was a coffee bath because neither one of them drink coffee. And so they were literally in the bathtub buzzing. And I have a note that says, sister, can we take a coffee bath?
Yeah.
I feel like for the sake of research, if there's a place in LA where you can go take a coffee bath, we should do it. Because I'm dying to know what it's like.
Girl.
Because I drink more coffee than I ingest more caffeine than anyone I know. I think that I could lay in a coffee bath and go to sleep. These two were literally coming out of their skin.
It was like, are you shaking or am I shaking? What? This is so fun. Are you okay?
Are you having fun? I'm having fun. They tried to kiss.
They kiss their quivering little lips to each other. It's okay.
But they're having a good time.
They're having a good time. But jump to the next morning and Bailey is like, it's Jeremy. I picked Jeremy. Which makes me think she came back that night and Jeremy was clearly like, yo, what the fuck, bish? Like, you said this, you did this. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna lose him. Is what I think happened. Who knows? Maybe she genuinely did miss the 70-year-old man when she got back to the hotel, which is what she says happened.
It is crazy to me that the way that both genders seem to forget that there is an element of a game to this.
Yes.
Because the way that they act so wronged by the prospect of someone sweet talking them to get a rose.
Right. What the audacity.
So Jeremy was like the unmitigated gall. She gave me a line to get a rose. Babe, what show do you think you signed up for? Honey.
Honey, darling. And I do think
Zoe.
same with Zoe. And I do think Bailey was really into Jeremy.
Correct.
I think she also was into Andrew because he's hot and he came up and asked her on a date. Like, Jeremy, let's go back. Let's go play dominoes.
Yeah, dial it down.
Let's go do whatever activity.
Go log into Charles Schwab and check your trading accounts.
Go onto your AOL and message some friends and family.
Update Blogspot.
Reactivate your Tumblr.
Jeremy, I'm trying to date you. This isn't age shaming. I'm negging Jeremy to get his attention right now.
She's playing hard to get. But once Bailey is like, I'm all into Jeremy, well then Andrew is like, fuck. And he goes over to Alex and is like, just so you know, Alex, it took me a good solid 30 minutes to decide who to go on the date with last night.
He literally says that. He literally says, it took me a solid 30 minutes.
30 minutes to be like, was it you or was it going to be Bailey? And I chose Bailey. And she's like, yeah, missed your shot.
Because, by the way, she's broken up with Jonathan at this point.
Oh, we missed. Yeah, sorry, we totally skipped over that. By now, Alex has broken up with Jonathan, also in a crying fashion.
She does. I will give Alex this. As manic as she is, when she has an objective, she does better. So her objective was to break up with Jonathan. She didn't actually fritz out.
Yeah.
She just cried a lot and was like, I'm so worried I'm going to hurt your feelings. I hate hurting people's feelings. And I could hear my therapist's voice say, honey, you are not that powerful.
Yeah.
My therapist doesn't call me honey, don't worry. And I wish I didn't have so many things to talk to my therapist about in my personal life. Otherwise, I would be breaking down this entire show with her. But
you'll play this podcast just in therapy. Like, what do you think?
Correct. But so she's like, Jonathan, I'm so worried about hurting your feelings. And Jonathan's like, honey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like my therapist, not saying honey. But he says it's okay. And so they peaceably break up.
Peaceably, it's fine. And so then Alex and Andrew talk and they actually get a smooch in. So now we're left with this budding relationship between Andrew and what's her name? Alex. There are so many names on this show. I can't.
Things have reached a settled place with the Youngs.
The Youngs. We have covered them, and we'll circle back to the cliffhanger they leave us on with the Jonathan storyline. But alas, here comes a boat filled with vivacious, lovely, interesting, give more adjectives, Grace.
Arthritic, golden.
Golden, beautiful, shining Goldens. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, there are 9 of them.
The catamaran is full.
The catamaran is at max capacity. Yeah, fuck everyone having their individual walk-in. This is just like, and ship in the Goldens. Yeah.
Put them on the boat. This is the first class passengers straight off the Titanic sailing into paradise.
And let me tell you, that Titanic was a fun time. They are partying on the boat. I wanted to be on that boat. This boat made me less scared of aging. I was like, this looks like so much fun. Of just being old and not giving a fuck and just drinking and hanging out with people, and things are a lot less serious in life. Love it.
One of my favorite things that's coming up for us is that the Goldens are rooming with the Youngs.
Yes. And so, for example, I guess we'll go through them quickly because we don't know them all very well yet, but there are some that we're getting to know. April, who rooms with Kat, 67, therapist in New York, from Jerry's season. This is who I want to be. I want to be April. She looks like Kat in 40 years. She acts like Kat in 40 years. I just learned that I guess I want to be Kat in 40 years.
Okay, I love that. I personally want to be more of a Kathy.
Okay, I can see that too.
Now we're going to get to what secret she revealed, and I don't condone that behavior. I don't condone infidelity.
Right.
But I love that April and Kat, this is actually what we came for. I need the Goldens giving advice to the Youngs.
Yes.
That is what I need.
One thing she opens up to Kat about is that she hasn't kissed someone for years since her partner died long ago. And we see her get her groove back as she kisses Jack in the pool.
She gets it back real quick. I do want to say I get a little bit nervous watching the Goldens in the pool. Like watching April try to get on the flamingo raft or the unicorn raft was a little dicey, but it's the pool. It's like water aerobics. So it's
risk,
safe.
Yeah, the fall risk is
minimal.
Is mitigated by the water. I agree.
It's good for their joints. Like the fact that they can go, they probably chose this resort because it had shallow pool for them to, walk in.
Yeah.
It's good. It's soothing for their arthritis,
Guys, and we're not age shaming. I literally do water aerobics because I have a bad back. Like, this is all stuff we know.
A note that I took earlier that I glossed over is Allie Jo said something when she was probably talking to Dale about how much they had in common. She said, I care about what I look like, so I go to the gym.
Nice. Well, at least she knows what she
Allie
wants.
Jo, I go to the gym because I need to protect these joints and I need mobility.
Yeah,
I need strength in the joints. My Tommy trainer knows I want to avoid arthritis as long as possible. Dad, you're making just a little too much noise.
We're almost done.
I go to the gym because I want to age very well, like these Goldens are. I want to be able to just hop onto that unicorn raft
April,
right when I'm 70.
Looking stunning. There's not an ounce of body fat on her.
They are wearing less clothes than I'm even comfortable with.
I know, which is also I can't wait.
Pop off.
To feel okay doing that one day.
Correct,
Like that'll
yeah.
be so freeing.
And I think that one thing that the Goldens bring to the show is they've just lived long enough. Kathy said this when they were playing the secret game, which we'll talk about in a second, but they've lived long enough to have fewer fucks to give.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
had seen so much.
That's what I mean. It's like, they're like, who gives a fuck? Also, everyone's gonna die. Like everyone dies.
We need that energy to talk to these manic youngs.
It's not that serious, y'all. Talking to the manic youngs, talk about April. April tells Jonathan when she goes to bed, second door on the right if you need me. I mean, pop off, April. All I'm saying is I love her. There's Leslie, 66, fitness instructor from Minnesota, Jerry season. And this girl has some stories. She was trying to play 2 truths and a lie. She wound up just playing the not
Three
game.
truths.
3 truths. Prince wrote a song about her. Usher fed her a cherry at a concert. I have questions about that one. Kenny G asked her on a date. This girl has lived.
Actually, I was going to say, I actually would like to be Leslie more than I would like to be Kathy. Leslie also, she's a fitness instructor.
Yeah. So she's
Which
fit.
that means she's got mobility at that age, which we love to see.
We love mobility.
Goals.
Absolute goals. We have Captain Kim from Jones season, 70 retired Navy captain from Seattle.
You might remember Captain Kim because he made all the men in the house. He wanted to make all the men in the house write and sing a song to Joan. It was literally like, we're the men of the mansion. We're the men of the mansion. We're here for Joan. And it was very military. And several men in the house were like, dude, no.
Kim, no. Kim, go to bed.
So Kim got a little too militant on Joan's season. I'm excited to see if he might unbutton his shirt a little bit in Paradise.
Yeah. Let's see the Navy captain come off. The singing man come on. Yeah, who knows? Then we have RJ, 66, former financial advisor from Irvine. As he says, he's 6'5", blue eyes. He's from Jones season. We'll get into the secret challenge and get his secret, which is fascinating. He's cute. He's a cutie. His eyes are very stunning.
Yep. Yeah.
I like RJ.
And he hits it off with Natasha.
He and Natasha hit it off the bat. Natasha, 62, pro-aging coach, which is awesome in and of itself. Pro-aging coach in New York. Yeah, hits it off with RJ on the boat, is sitting on his lap. They are flirting. She is making it known. I love Natasha as well. I would also want to be Natasha. Her energy was giving.
Also, the fact that she is a pro-aging coach means that she has taken something that happened to her and she's monetizing it.
Yeah.
She's saying, I learned how to love getting old and I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Yes.
But she has taken something that happened to her and she's monetized it. We see her and RJ walking on the beach, which again, we love mobility. We love movement. Okay.
They're taking long walks, heart rate up. And we also meet CK, 62, portfolio manager from Palos Verdes, California. I don't remember a lot about him.
No, barely anything at all.
Barely anything at all. We get to Keith, 63, who was the girl dad from Jones season. He's a sales director from San Jose. I like Keith.
Oh, I love Keith.
Keith is a good time, and he wants love.
I respect a girl dad. I respect the girl dad of adult women.
Yeah.
When somebody goes off about being a girl dad and they have a 6-month-old,
yeah,
you've got some learning to do.
Yes.
I'm like, just let it happen. He's raised like 4 women. That's great. So like, soak up that identity. Just like Allie Joe's a Scorpio, Keith is a girl dad.
Is a girl dad. I wish I had something to cling on to like that. So fiercely.
It'll come.
Thank you. Last but not least, which will lead us into the Secrets Challenge, is Kathy, 72, retired educational consultant from Austin, winner of the Secret Challenge. Her husband is 6 years deceased. Let's talk about the Secrets Challenge.
Let's talk about the origin of the Secrets Challenge.
What
Jay,
is that?
have you ever seen this on a show before?
No.
I have, and that was a show on TLC called MILF Manor.
Oh, God. I think MILF Manor is one of the few ones I couldn't get all the way through.
You didn't miss much.
I couldn't do it.
But they did this challenge.
Okay.
And that's how a son, for those of you who don't know, that is a show where sons and their cougar moms are in a house together. It's the horniest show, but no one actually bones. It's very strange. It's an anthropological study.
Mm-hmm.
But they did that show, and this son found out that his mom boned his best friend.
Yeah.
That was revealed on the show. So the Secrets Challenge on this show is everyone writes down a secret, their craziest secret they can think of, which actually I was watching with my roommate, and I asked her, I said, could you come up with your craziest secret in like the 7 minutes that they had to write it down. And so I posed the same question to you. Could you come up with your craziest secret?
No.
And also there's an element of like, what's the worst secret you have? What's the best for TV secret you have? What's the, you know, that
and
kind of thing.
And what's the one that'll like not make me look like a horrible person? This is where the Goldens, it is fun because they're like, we don't give a fuck. We did these horrible things 40 years
60s.
ago. Yeah, like, it was a long time ago. And like, I'm not the same person anymore. The youngins are like, oh, I used to fart and blame a boy.
In high school, which was 3 years ago. So they write down craziest secret they have. They put it in a box. Jesse reads them out one by one. And the group is voting as they go along on how crazy the secret is. Eventually, the craziest secret winds up posted on a board. And Jesse says the owner of this secret can either reveal themselves and get a reward or stay anonymous and have a consequence.
And he says, you'll want the reward.
I am dying to know what the consequence was because our girl Kathy chose the reward and revealed. Jay, what did she reveal?
Kathy revealed that she slept with someone else while her partner was in the other room. I was surprised that secret actually was the most interesting one to people.
And this is the thing is like they just said write down your craziest secret or your darkest secret or something. That I think what the superlative of that secret was is that it carried the most risk.
Yeah, no, totally. I wanted to know who the fuck found $500,000 and kept it.
$500,000.
I used to work in creative development, so I like would read scripts and stuff. And there was a script about this very thing, about someone who, it was like a TV show, someone who finds money and keeps it. And they, my higher execs were like, no, we can't do this because it's so unbelievable. And I was like, it is completely believable. I would take it in 5 seconds if I found $500,000, and I can't wait to message them and be like, just so you know, someone did it. Someone did it. Someone
did it on reality TV.
Someone did it on unscripted TV. So that's the one I would have wanted to know. Which one did you want to know?
I'm sorry. The one that RJ had was crazy.
Yes. RJ was a playmate.
This is interesting because his did not carry risk. I mean, I hope they were getting tested, but he was, like you said, the secret was I was a playmate for 2 women all summer long.
Yep.
And he just very like candidly is sitting there in the interview and he's like, yep, these women would call me whenever they needed servicing and I would go over there. I am curious. I have to say, I wonder if it was a paid gig. I'm just curious.
I don't know. He's in finance. He doesn't need it. But back then, we don't know. We don't know his story. We're going to learn it.
I was watching with my roommate, Athena, and we both came to the conclusion, maybe Kathy could have meant I went to sleep in the same bed with someone while my partner was in the other room.
I think Kathy's a bad bitch. I think she went and I think she fucked. I think Kathy had a good old fuck in one room.
And we'll never know because
we'll never know.
She didn't talk about it further. We heard no exposition.
No exposition. And they immediately say, Kathy, you can go to the VIP suite now for revealing your secret. And she takes our sweetheart Keith. And they go up, and man, the night they had together made me nostalgic to be a teenager. My God.
They did, by the way, they did not play Twister like Jonathan and Jill.
They didn't play Twister, no. They did the right thing, which was they got shit-faced off of champagne. So much champampagne. They played in the water. They played Never Have I Ever.
Kathy was like, hey, swimming race, go.
Yeah.
Love.
So fun. They had deep conversations. Like they did all the things.
Kathy is goals.
Kathy is goals. Do you think Keith is interested in Kathy?
This might be a controversial take. I'm not sure. The Goldens, older people do not lead with and exude sexual energy in the way that young people do.
Right.
Unless you're on a show called MILF Manor. It's hard to tell. It's kind of hard. I think it is harder to tell if there's chemistry. Mm-hmm. Because older people tend not to lead with that energy. And when I say older people, I also mean people like me and people like Jeremy, okay? Not just the Goldens. But
God, Jeremy, please just call this girl.
I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if Keith is into Kathy because he very well could be and might not be just like coming out the gate with energy of I'm into you. You know what I'm saying? He's a girl dad. He's respectful. He gives women space, you know?
A hashtag girl dad. What do you expect from him? Yeah, he is being very respectful. Don't kiss on the first date.
Oh, my dad is pointing to himself in the background because he's a girl dad.
Yes, he is a girl dad, but he's also a boy dad.
He's also a boy dad. Who cares?
Who cares? So we're going to bring this full circle, bring back to the youngins. We are left on a cliffhanger because Jonathan, as we said, is now all out of options. He and Alex have broken up. He has pissed Jill off.
He has a weird convo with Jill.
That's a weird convo with Jill. That's like the weirdest fight that goes on for too long.
They might have been drunk. We're not even going to rehash what they said because they were just talking in circles. But he had messed up and he couldn't redeem himself with her.
He couldn't. It was one of those things that, like, no matter what anyone said, it would only get worse, whatever the next thing was said. Like, they needed to walk away.
So we see Jonathan considering that April said she's second door on the left.
Yeah, so he thinks about it. And at the very end of the episode, the producer asked Jonathan, would you be willing to ask April for a rose? And Jonathan thinks about it. Blackout.
The last thing I have to say, one more comment about Spencer, is Spencer is so confident in the preview for next week. Spencer is so safe and confident in love that he is wearing his heavy prescription glasses at the rose ceremony. Spencer rolls up to the rose ceremony looking like I do right now. Pajama pants.
Like, Spencer would have Jesse take him to surgery and, like, wipe his butt afterwards. Like, they are so close by now.
They're already Goldens by
Day
now.
6, yeah, they have a family of 4.
Yep,
Are looking at minivans.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see if Jonathan knocks on April's door.
The producers, are going to make him do it. He's 100%. Absolutely going to talk to him.
100%.
But just, I doubt he'll actually do it. Well, who knows? Who knows? I want there to be a couple so badly. Okay, so shout out to Kyle's aunt was in town this past weekend, and she was like, I have a theory. I have a theory that the young girls are going to want to get with the old guys, insinuating that the rich old guys, insinuating that the old guys are only going to get, like, the pool for the Golden Bachelor is going to get richer and richer because they know if they don't win, they can come on Bachelor in Paradise and score a hot chick.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very, like, long, you have to connect the dots on it. But it's I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Because of the largest wealth gap in history, the Goldens do have significantly more assets than the Youngs do.
Oh my God, they have houses. They have their 401ks.
They have 401ks and Roth IRAs.
Like, they're living their best lives.
They're packed to the gills with cash.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Our goal, Grace, when we're older, is to get on this show, except we want Kyle to be alive. I don't want to go on it just to hang out with everybody.
There's a world in which you and Kyle could do properly what Justin and Susie didn't do. Where you could get back together.
Right. It's all a ruse, but, like, we do it for the plot.
I do feel like your memorable Kyle would have, I bet he has, without your knowledge, taken a blood oath to protect you. I don't know who he entered that blood oath with. The details are kind of fuzzy, but, like, he would fight harder than Justin to protect you.
God, that's the nicest thing. It wasn't he didn't make the pact with Satan because he gets real scared about Satan stuff. He gets we can't watch those ghost adventures. He gets too spooked before bed.
I'm really pleased that we covered so much ground.
I can't believe we did it. We got through the whole episode.
Episodes, Jay, plural.
Episodes. We got through 5 hours of TV.
I wish that there was a world in which Susie or Justin could come back, but particularly Susie for the Jeremy element of it.
Interesting.
I'm also curious to see at what point, because here's a final question I have. It seems like they're not going to know about the briefcase full of cash until the finale.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
So they're not going through this season thinking, would I choose Spencer or the briefcase full of cash? By the way, I'd still take the briefcase full of cash. In this economy?
In this economy? Cash? Abso-fucking-lutely. Say less. I'd do it.
Tune in next week to see, does Kyle's aunt think that we're going to start seeing the Youngs go after the Goldens next week, in addition to Jonathan?
She didn't say when. She just said it's going to happen.
TikTok, because the what we need to see coming is some intergenerational drama.
I cannot the fuck wait for it. I'm so excited. Thanks for listening, Gabbers. If you made it this far, we did it together. What a marathon. This is a new series with Grace, Bachelor in Paradise. We're just getting off the ground. So if you do enjoy this, like, subscribe, rate, share. It helps so much to get our little feetsies off the ground. We love you so much. We're excited about next week and the rest of this summer.
See you soon.
See you soon, Gabbers. Bye-bye.